Hello everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Parallel Parking. Today we are a little more up north. We are in the Wildcat Mountain State Park, which is one we have not yet been to. In the last episode we were in Devil's Lake State Park, which we've been to many times, but this one is new to us. Right now we are in kind of the overlook area, which as you can see, overlooks things. So far it's a pretty sweet view. It's a little chilly. Weather live said that it was supposed to be sunny and in like the 50s, and it's clearly not. So we're going to get moving, and hopefully it'll start to warm up here sometime soon, and then the sun will come out to play. So we're going to start making our way along some trails and see what we find. Alright, so we are heading down what I guess is called Old Settlers Trail, which is actually kind of a cool thing. Is the sign back there that said that this was the trail actually says an allotted time to allow yourself to hike the trail. It says allow up to 1.5 to 2 hours to hike this specific trail, which we thought was pretty cool because you don't see that usually when you find trails in any of the parks we've been to. They just says, it's this trail. It might give you a, rough estimate of how long the trail is, but nothing really tells you like a time frame. So I thought that was kind of cool because there's a lot of times when you just end up on a trail and the next thing you know, you're on it for like 3 hours. So it's kind of nice to know in advance. So we're going to start heading down that way. And this is what we have coming up here. So careful of that. Make sure you're paying attention. It's also supposed to be some pretty interesting wildlife out in this region, so keep an eye out for that. Supposed to be red squirrels. Adrian's getting some pictures there. Some red squirrels, and also a couple different kinds of snakes. I think there was not that are venomous. I think that there's one, it's like a hognose snake or something that's mildly venomous, but not enough that it's like fatal, just enough that it's gonna hurt and numb the area of the bite for a couple days. So be careful if you're out here. But nothing other than that. There's no toxic bears. So you should be fine. So one thing we've noticed already is that even though we have this really cool, woodsy view and everything, very Hunger Gamesy. It's a really cool view for the trail, but it's a very narrow trail, so it makes it kind of difficult to really look around and take in your surroundings without worrying about falling, because not only is it an incredibly narrow trail, but there's also lots of random roots and rocks and such in the way. So definitely be cautious if you're on this trail, because right here the drop off isn't too bad. You would just kind of roll into some of these trees, but there are some areas where it drops off a lot further. So if you weren't paying attention and you were looking around at everything else and you caught a root or something and you topple down, probably hurt a little bit. So definitely want to be cautious. Looks like it's starting to level out a little bit more up here, but still. One of the first things I noticed pretty early on as we started hiking down this trail was just the vast differences in the view as you were walking. You could be along this part of the trail for a few minutes
and it would look a lot like this, where it's very open and almost kind of an eerie vibe to everything. And then a few minutes down the trail, you could suddenly be going up a steep hill, and it's very lush and green and completely different from where you just were a few minutes ago.
Alright, so we're getting into another steep kind of area, but it's also getting much more green. Down there where we were, which was kind of over across that area just a little while ago, was a lot more sparse, but you can tell once summer comes and all the leaves are back, you won't be able to see anything through there. But up here, it's still looking very leafy. So we just came up to kind of a level area from down there. There's lots of like overhanging sandstone and stuff. It looks like there's some kind of stuff up over there. Can't really tell what though. But then Adrian pointed out that there's kind of a car down there. I don't think you guys can see it all that well, but there we go. That's it's just an old truck, just hanging out. And why not? I kind of wish we could get further down there and inspect it a little, but it's pretty down there, so we're just gonna have to look at it from afar. But that's pretty sweet. Moving on. So we appear to have come across some bullet holes and such in these trees. Now, it's not, sorry, blocking on your view there. It's not hunting season right now, but it was recently. And usually, parks are going to shut down, if not entirely, at least certain trails or anything during hunting season so that you don't get shot. But every now and again, you're going to get someone that's stupid, either because A, they're hunting when they're not supposed to be, or they're hiking when they're not supposed to be. And you don't want to get caught in that crossfire. So be careful if you live in an area where they allow hunting. Make sure you find out if it is safe to do so. Because there have been times where we've been hiking in certain areas and they allow hunting in certain parts of the park, and you can hear the gunshots off in the distance, and that's always a little terrifying. But keep an eye out and make sure you find out before you hit up a park if there's going to be people with guns. We also seem to have come across quite a few trees that just kind of look like someone's kind of beat the bricks off them a little bit. Some of them you can tell have been cut down. Some you can tell have probably been hit by lightning and such, but some of them you can definitely tell have been either gnawed on or clawed at, which this is Wildcat, State Park, so that's probably what that is. So again, watch out for that. If you've ever played like Red Dead Redemption, those things will just sneak up on you and just take you down. So we found something else interesting on this trail. As you can see, we've wandered into Twilight now. Gone from Hunger Games to Twilight. But found something. Not another car, but equally as weird and cool. That's a jawbone of something, which has still got all the teeth in it and everything. We have no idea what it's from. I don't think it's from a deer.
I can't imagine having a deer having a jaw that small.
No.
Or teeth like that.
Yeah, I mean, those are some pretty sharp teeth. But, yeah. So, that's interesting.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Parallel Parking. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I do definitely recommend you check out Wildcat Mountain State Park. It's some of the most interesting terrain we've ever hiked, especially on Old Settlers Trail. The trail can sometimes get a little steep and difficult to manage, but the things you're going to see along the way are well worth it. Thanks for watching Parallel Parking, and we'll see you guys next time.